When we started in 2007, we were a blog and we were writing about what inspired us and really trying to write about culture in the design world. And then 2 years after we started writing about design, we actually started to get into developing our own products, and we did soft goods, we did wallpaper. And then it was in 2013 that we really began doing interior spaces.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been atypical in a couple of ways, and then what makes us sort of interesting is that neither of us come from a strictly design background. So when we started AphroChic, Jeanine was a policy attorney working on anti-domestic violence law in California. And I was just sort of wandering around collecting master's degrees. So I picked up a master's degree in systematic philosophical theology and another in African diaspora studies with a focus in haplology. So from that, we transitioned into becoming designers. And it's helped us create a style and an aesthetic that is very narrative. So we always like to call our spaces narrative spaces. There's a story that we're trying to tell. For us, it's always a matter of existing right at that junction point of modern interior design and global culture, and for us specifically African diaspora culture. And finding ways to express that in a room is always interesting because everyone has a different story to tell. So we enjoy the fact that no two of our rooms ever look the same.
I mean, yeah, for both of us, I think we like to be very theoretical about design, and it does start with our heritage. It does start with culture for us. Like Bryan did African diaspora studies. I went to Spelman, it's a historically Black college and university. And so there, really was learning about, again, like how do we as African Americans tell our stories in many different ways if you're looking at literature, film. And really, I love the idea of being able to do that within the context of home. A lot of times we really think about AphroChic as a humanizing project, that we show the Black home, that when you do that, people become more human to you. Everyone has a home, everyone has a desire to have a beautiful space that they feel safe and comfortable in. And a lot of ways that's really what we're trying to do with all of our projects. And definitely one of the things that we really love in this room are the baskets that are behind us. And like Bryan said, I used to do work in the domestic violence prevention field and work with women. And so we were really excited when we found this collective called Indigo Africa. They work with women in Rwanda and Ghana who are basically doing microfinance work. So the women in these small villages make these beautiful baskets. They're handmade. They use water-based dyes with them, and it helps them basically build their own small businesses in the community. They're able to support their children through it. And so we love the idea of not only is this a great piece, but the sale of pieces like this actually give back to a community. We also have some of our own pieces here. We have our new lighting collection, which is Artisan lighting that we're actually working with artisans in Morocco on, and they hand make it. They do the piercing by hand. And then we have our wallpaper collection. And this one was really special. This wallpaper is called Ailey. I had a cousin who was an Alvin Ailey dancer, and our family was always so proud that she was part of that dance theater. And we would watch, her performances, and this paper really is an homage to that. Alvin Ailey turned 60 years old, so it was actually perfect timing that we developed this paper where you see women dancing within the wallpaper design.
Yeah. And for us, it's always about how to bring these things together to create an aesthetic that's very modern and at the same time has a depth to it that's more than just, nice things arranged in a room. There's a coherent thought behind it, there's a story behind it. And we've noticed that when we first started, we felt as though a lot of times people were having to choose between having a space that was very modern and maybe didn't tell as much of their story, or having a space that was very cultural and felt dated. And we always argued that culture and design actually work better together. And it was about finding ways to seamlessly blend the two. So here you're able to have a great floral wallpaper that speaks to tradition and the history of dance in a particular culture or group. We're able to have our juju hats that we have over my shoulder here that are actually from the Cameroon. They're called teen hats, and they're worn in ceremonies by the royal family and high nobility. But now that we use them for design, we're actually, bringing new colors, new styles to them. And all of it is just a way to help people express themselves and create a space that really feels like home.